issue analysis. What is issue analysis? It's what you do after you spot the issue. Now, pure form issue spotting is maybe the last skill that it's the hardest to develop, and I'll come back to that. What is an issue? So let's back up. Let's put this in context. Why am I talking about this? You need to understand what issue analysis is, because it is the skill to do well on a final exam. But there's a nuance that you need to understand about it. And I'm going to walk through, once you understand the nuance, if you get this nuance, you've got something that 90% of most law students don't get when they arrive at law school, okay? What's an issue? This is kind of a deeper question. So this, to me, an issue is an important fact or set of facts in a story, in a fact pattern, that begs further legal analysis. It's a fact that suggests, it doesn't say with certainty, it's a fact that at least hints that one party could consider bringing a legal claim against another. The fact does not need to suggest a completely successful claim. In fact, the opposite is true for you to get good grades. The opposite is true for you to get good grades. Because good issue spotters look for iffy, borderline, barely viable claims. That is where the gold is in a final exam. Everyone will get the easy issues. Only the best issue spotters get the marginal issues. Okay. So what's issue analysis? Generally, once you've identified an issue analysis is the process that helps you decide if a legal claim would succeed or not. So that's the high level. Specifically, you take the black letter law, you look for facts or interpretation of facts to fit to each element or factor of the black letter law, and you conclude. So IRAC is the standard formulation of this. There's a specific way to do IRAC in my view. You will see, you can even check the web, check YouTube. There are all these free materials that will talk about IRAC. Not many sources will tell you what this means. I think this is way too general a framework to be easily usable, right? It's like being told how to interview, smile and be nice and say interesting things. What are the interesting things? What does it mean to be nice? Weirdly, it seems obvious what those things are, and yet it's not super obvious. Okay. IRAC is a formulation of the issue. It's a summary of a fact hook plus a name of a claim you will analyze. So this is often super hard for students. And it's how you describe a legal problem. And you can just write a title. It's instead of an entire sentence, it's easy and just as good. So to me, this is how you describe an issue. Very few analyses of IRAC tell you what the issue is. And I think it's one of the hardest things to formulate. This is easier, but weirdly, the thing that appears first in IRAC is one of the hardest things to do. So basically, this is just a flag to tell the professor what it is that you're talking about. What you need is the parties involved, so perhaps the defendant, the action, maybe the fact hook. Charlie Brown punches Lucy after, she takes the football away. Battery, does this constitute battery is maybe the way to kind of formulate this. The rule involves restating the elements of the black letter law exactly as the professor wants. Set out all the elements or factors, and use numbers to identify each element. You'll see why in a second. That these are examples. I don't want to belabor this. An analysis fits the facts to each element, first in support of the legal claim, then in support of the other side, then coming to conclusion on that element. So on easy elements, you don't need to say a lot. On hard ones, I think there always needs to be an objective two-sided analysis, a he said, she said between the potential plaintiff and the defendant on that claim. A conclusion is a probabilistic prediction. It's just a prediction on who's likely to win based on the black letter law that you're given. And you have to, the best conclusions reason it out. X wins because, not just X wins. I'm coming back to Tapion again. Issue analysis is a skill. It's not a piece of knowledge. It's not enough to know the rules within IRAC to be able to perform that. You also have to be accustomed to applying the facts to the law and to making a prediction on the claim.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.